Hawksbill get their names from their pointed heads and their bird-like beaks. They typically grow up to be about 150 pounds and 45 inches in shell length, which is smaller than average compared to other sea turtles. Their shell is heart-shaped when they are young, but then elongates as they grow. The shell has very colorful overlapping plates. Their shells are multicolored and can even change color depending on if they are in warm or cold water. These plated shells protect them from many predators. They are omnivorous and feed on a large variety of things including mollusks, algae, urchins, fish, and jellyfish, but they mostly stay near the coastline and feed on sponges where they are abundant. They can also use their beak to remove them from crevices and reefs. Another physical adaptation that these turtles have is small claws on their flippers, which they use to crawl on land. There are currently 20 to 23,000 nesting females. They are the most tropic-based sea turtle. Hawksbill turtles are usually found around reefs or off coasts in the more tropical regions of the Atlantic, Indian, and Pacific Oceans. They are rarely seen below 65 feet. They can nest in almost any deep sand beach in the tropics. The females will even climb over the reefs and rocks to the nest in the vegetation. They live about 30 to 50 years. Similar to most sea turtles, they are alone for most of their lives, only meeting to mate about every 2 to 3 years. This is when the female will migrate back to her natal beach where she hatched and lay her eggs in lower densities than most sea turtles. They usually nest between April and November. They nest at night, laying 3 to 6 clutches a season at 2-week intervals. They usually lay about 140 eggs per clutch. 60 days later, the eggs will hatch and the baby turtles begin the most dangerous part of their lives, which is scampering to the ocean from where they hatch. This is when they are very vulnerable to predators on the land. Then, once they become 14 inches and about 25 to 35 years, they become fertile. Hawksbills are critically endangered. Turtle shells are highly prized, and hawksbills might be the most coveted ones. Its trade was illegalized in 1993, but is still illegally sold. Sometimes their eggs and flesh are even eaten. Bycatch is another killer of these animals, as turtles can be caught by fishing nets and trawls. However, turtle exclusion devices are now being used in trawls to reduce this. Development on coasts and people on beaches has also limited nesting space for them. Our artificial lights can also continue to confuse the hatchlings after they hatch. This can lead to them becoming disoriented and being eaten by predator animals. They are protected by some international agreements, such as the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species of Wild Flora and Fauna. We also have designated protected areas for the hawksbill to migrate, such as the Hawksbill Highway.